Hello, I've just harvested some early potatoes. These are them. These are the pots potatoes came out of, and this is the compost that grew the potatoes. All these didn't come out of this one pot, by the way. These came out of, I think it was 3 pots. So we've got all this compost spare, and we've got some empty pots. Okay, we've talked about this all year, but now we're going to put this plan into action. We're going to sow some leeks, and we're going to sow some celery. These are leeks that were started by me from seed indoors. They're Musselburgh, and the celery was started by me indoors from seed, and the celery is Victoria. But before we reuse this compost, we'll add a bit of spark. Okay, bloodfish and bone. Now, you might not be able to tell, but it looks a lot darker than bloodfish and bone should look. That's because I've added some coffee grounds in there, some free coffee grounds. So we're just going to put a bit of this in with this spent compost. And that's what we're going to grow our leeks and celery in. Okay. We'll just give it a mix. Okay, let's fill our pots. One. I'll add a little more of this because most of that was on the top. Okay. Excuse me, Molly. Thank you. Just mix that in. Don't want that. We'll fill this pot. Two pots full of compost. These are the leeks. This is the celery. We'll go with the leeks first. I'm going to grow 4 leeks in a pot. That's something I've done before. And I'm going to grow 4 celery in a pot. That's something I've done before. So I know it works. Okay. There's videos on the channel if you want to check them out. Excuse me, Mom. Okay, now we want these evenly spaced. So we'll just use these 4 white pebbles to give us a bit of a guideline, shall we? How's that look? Reasonably spaced there, would you say? Okay. So it should be this easy. 1. 2. Now, there's not a lot of leek going in the pot here, just the roots. And that's because when we want these leeks to be blanched, when we want to get them white, we'll blanch them up. We'll use some sort of cover to cover them above the ground, and that'll cause them to blanch up. So there's no need to put these in any depth at all, just make sure you get the roots in. Okay, so if you look at that, it's about ½ an inch of white on there, and that's all that's going below soil level. But when I harvest these, I'll be looking for 6 inches of white at least, probably more. Okay, so if I've got some water handy, and I think I have, we'll give those a water. How quick was that? So this compost, recycled, it's going to produce a second crop, same pot, same compost, same year. Come on, homegrown veg. Okay, these guys are a bit trickier because they're not in individual cells, but we want 4 of these guys out. So let's do this. That looks like 2. And that looks like 2. Put a bit of compost in there, press that down. These will be sown in a pot later, another pot. We won't waste these guys will go in another pot that when we empty it out, when we take the earlies out, we'll pop these up. And what we'll do is, because there's some root disturbance there, we'll give that a little water. And pop this to one side. Okay, so let's get our stones, our pebbles. 1, 2, 3, 4. How's that look? And again with these, there's no need to plant them too deep, because we'll actually blanch these guys up later. We have a cunning trick up our sleeves. You may be seeing it on last year's videos, maybe not. Okay, we'll water these guys in. Have you lifted your earlies yet? Well, if you've lifted your earlies, you've got compost, haven't you? And if you're growing in pots, you've got pots. Come on, what are you waiting for? Do this. If you've grown these, if you haven't garden centre, get yourself some. Okay, putting the leeks back into shot. I'll get them both in. How's that? 4 leeks, 4 celery. This is homegrown veg, signing out.